Aprilia Super Teen Championship is a class for the youngsters, the stars of the future in motorcycle racing. And round 2 of the Thundersport GB Championship brings us here to Donington Park, which is back on the British motorcycle racing calendar. Welcome to GP Racing Dream.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to delightful Donington Park. This superb circuit now restored to its finest ever condition. There we see the famous clock on the start-finish straight, and we've got some great racing up ahead for you from the youngsters on this GP Racing Dream package. Steve Day is down there to describe a lap of the track. Steve?
Thanks very much, Robin. Here we are then. Donington Park, start-finish straight, and the first corner sweeping over wide to the left-hand side and into the first right-hander. This is Redgate corner. Down a couple of gears, and then whack on the power, ready for the most fun that you'll ever have on any circuit. Going down then through Craner curves, the great right and then left here. Careful of the front end washout, because it's a cold part of the tyre, and then down into a great overtaking opportunity, the old hairpin. Back on the power, and on these Aprilia Super Teens, you will be going flat out round Schwantz Curve under Starkey's Bridge. This just seems to go on forever. Drift out slightly over to the left of the curve, and then down through the gears into McLean's corner here. Another good overtaking opportunity. On the power again, up to the blind entry here, Poppy's corner. Important to get the power on as early as you can then for the back straight. Once known as the Dunlop Straight, there is no more Dunlop Bridge there, but hopefully we'll be back in a year or two's time. And then last chance saloon, if you want to try and grab the race win, the newly redesigned Goddard's chicane here. A right flip and then a left onto the start-finish straight again.
Fantastic stuff, Steve. Yes, a superb lap of this brilliant facility here at Donington Park in the glorious sunshine. It is the first action from the Aprilia Super Teens. Steve's on the grid waiting for him.
Thanks very much, Robin. The first race on the grid then, and Ross Twyman is on pole position here at Donington Park. Second position, just behind me here, you can see Tom Oliver, the championship leader coming into this event, and is very, very solid around Donington Park. Third position, Ben Luxton. Well, after a great opening round at Mallory, he'll be looking to brush off the inconsistency and try and get himself 25 points. And then here we've got Max Simmons. Good to have him on the front row. Of course, all of these Super Teens, riders aged 12 to 18s. We've got to have a look at the bikes before the start of the season really gets in flow. And I took a look around one a little bit earlier on. So here it is then, the Aprilia Super Teen machine for riders aged 12 to 18 years old. And you can see here that it is bigger than a general GP 125 machine, but it is a production motorcycle. Aprilia 125cc running the road tyres, the Dunlop GP 209s, pushing out about 28 brake horsepower at the back wheel, 29 maybe. All the riders, we've got 30 of them out on the grid, all on identical machinery, all identical colours. It should be an interesting season. Let's not forget, of course, though, the Aprilia Super Teens is famous for creating stars such as Cal Crutchlow, Casey Stoner, James Toseland, etc. And that is why it is the most successful one-make racing series in the world.
Thanks very much, Steve. Yes, here on the grid for the first of the two Aprilia Super Teen races that we'll be covering on this GP Racing Dream from Donington Park. And the talent already on show this year. Some superb performances, including the support races for World Superbikes here at Donington. Away they go for the first time of asking. This weekend, Tom Oliver has already set a new lap record for Aprilia Super Teens here around the park. But it's Ben Luxton that shows best at the beginning of this one, Steve. He gets away first into Redgate.
Yeah, not a bad start from championship leader Tom Oliver from Colchester either. Number 20, he's at the front of the grid as they all flow through Hollywood and down into Craner curves. Then they make their way down the hill on the brakes into the old hairpin. It is still Ben Luxton that leads from Tom Oliver.
Yes, one of the patterns that we've seen this year is that rather than anybody breaking away at the front, we've certainly had no runaway wins, particularly. But what we are getting is 10, 11, sometimes a dozen or 15 of them absolutely locked together for the whole race. And I tell you what, it looks as though we're beginning another one of those. It's a real freight train here.
Yeah, you would not want to put your money on any of these to win, as Bradley Jones, number 75, moved up into second position just through McLean's corner. On the back straight it is then, and it's Ben Luxton that leads. There's Bradley Jones just in second position.
Yep, just squeezing in there ahead of Tom Oliver, but only just. And I think the thing that I find particularly amazing, it happens every year with the Aprilia Super Teams, but the standard right the way down through the pack, they're chucking it into Goddard's, for instance. Sometimes they're coming in there 4 or 5 abreast, and yet for the most part they all get through really cleanly. They are racing as hard as you like, but it's very fair racing as well from these youngsters.
It is. They do like to keep it close and personal, but there's nothing too underwards out on circuit. There's no elbows or anything like that, and it's amazing, really, over the last couple of seasons in the Super Teams, we've not seen any major tussles or any falls that consist of 2 riders really going at it.
Nope, there are 10 riders in the lead bunch, though.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. This is why it's such a great championship. And, well, any one of these could really win this. We saw in previous races riders that are in 9th and 10th pick up the fastest race laps, and they're nowhere near picking up a trophy. So really is make the most of it. One small mistake can mean the difference between winning and finishing out of the points.
Yes, good to see Alistair Deus up there as well. He's already shown us that Donington is a circuit that he has really taken to, and he's looking very competitive, but at the moment it's, well, just now moving into the lead is Brad Jones. Brad leading for the first time in this, ahead of Ben Luxton.
Yeah, just seeing shots there of number 40, Joe Francis, the 13-year-old who's showing lots of hope and lots of promise, but is just trying to get himself involved at the front end here, as Ben Luxton has a look up the inside and makes it stick into turn 1. So Luxton then regains the lead from Bradley Jones at the front.
Also seeing down there in that lead pack, another of the rookies new to the whole sport just this year. So not a lot of experience, but number 10, Ryan Longshaw. See if you can pick him up in the middle of that group. He's working hard there. But at the moment, Luxton and Brad Jones sharing the spoils at the front of this. Ross Twyman, a brilliant pole position in qualifying, Steve. He's yet to capitalise on that when it comes to the racing, but, well, he may come good this time.
Yeah, he's had a little tumble this weekend, so maybe he's just lost a little bit of confidence. It can happen in racing, of course, if you take a nasty knock, but these youngsters do bounce well. And look at this, Alistair Deus fancies a look up the front. He's not going to go in that lead at that particular point, a little bit further back. There's Max Simmons, who was 4th on the grid, number 21. Max, who's actually getting a little bit too tall for these Super Team bikes already.
Yes, still the leading 10, absolutely together. Just looking to the group behind. Well, David Allingham, I think he's a young rider from Northern Ireland. He's at the head of that chasing group, but at the moment I don't think he's going to be able to bridge the gap to this mob out the front, the 10 leaders.
Unbelievable stuff then here at the front of race 1 of the Aprilia Super Teams, and they're just coming across one of the tail enders as they head into the Old Heppen. And you're right, 10 riders all within a shout really of winning this race. Luxton it is that is still ahead at the moment, and after having one DNF, that's all it takes really, isn't it, to lose sight of the championship leader. Keep an eye on Tom Oliver though. He's just drifted out onto the inside there. He's in about 4th or 5th place. There he is, Tom Oliver, number 20. Very consistent so far this year, and I think consistency is going to prove key to winning the Aprilia Super Team Championship when you've got races like this.
Yes, it's that old thing, isn't it? It's not just picking up the wins. You need to be on board the bike when the checkered flag comes out, and somewhere with your snout in the trough in the top 6 places in every race if possible.
We just saw Ross Twyman there a little bit further back. That's number 42, Aaron Coupland, just going through on Reese Hutchinson.
There's a little race, but up the front, well, now then, Brad Jones just ahead of Alistair Deus. That's it at the moment. Ross Twyman is in 3rd. Then it's Tom Oliver. Well, he couldn't quite just fumble away through into 3rd place, but that's at the moment leading what have we got, 7 or so, just breaking that pack. There's 2 of them off the back of it, but they can rejoin.
Look at that, number 61, Harry Coomber has got involved in the fun now. Harry Coomber took a win here in a World Superbike support round just a few weeks ago. He's put his name in the bunch as well. But Alistair Deus is on the inside here of Brad Jones and surely going to go up into the lead. He won a couple of races here yesterday and he does so. Ryan Longshore there, just beating up the championship leader Tom Oliver as they go into Goddard.
And the moment you mentioned Harry Coomber, he just zoomed up into 3rd place from nowhere. He was at the back of this group and then he was in 3rd as they came into Goddard. He's now been shuffled back to 5th. He takes a great chunk out of that pit lane exit to try and get a line down through towards the crater curves. And now, is that Alistair Deus? It is. Alistair is out front now with 75. Brad Jones in 2nd and Harry Coomber in 3rd again.
Yeah, Alistair Deus from Birmingham had a slightly edgy first round at Mallory Park. Wasn't entirely happy, but I think the bike's set up perfectly now, and we're going to see plenty more of him at the front of the race. Look at this lot as they head up in towards Coppice Corner. It is Deus there from Jones. Then Ben Luxton has just gone up into 3rd position ahead of Harry Coomber.
Yes, just looking at their lap times. In fact, Alistair Deus has got the fastest lap of this race so far, and indeed in this group, the top half dozen or more all set their personal fastest laps on the 2nd lap. And once they get down to this head-to-head battling, the group has slightly slowed each other. There we saw Tom Oliver. He's still well placed, but at the moment he's to the back of this leading group.
Yeah, it really is anyone's as the last lap flag is out, that yellow flag with the black cross. That signifies that we've got just 1 lap to go, and it's going to be tussling now for the win. Alistair Deus is looking good. He's got well, you might not think the lead is very much, but in the context of how the race has gone so far, that's an enormous lead that he's got at the front there, ahead of the battles for 2nd, which is currently being led by Brad Jones. Ross Twyman has just moved up ahead of Ben Luxton, and Harry Coomber goes up in the 4th.
Yeah, Ben Luxton just looking to challenge for the lead there, and he's down there. In fact, now in 5th, in almost the blink of an eye, and riding up the curbs there in 2nd place, really pushing it as hard as he can. Is Brad, but he can't quite do it. Brad Jones just trying to limit that gap to the leader, Alistair Deus, at the moment as they hit the long Dunlop straight. Alistair Deus with the advantage.
Yeah, he's kept his line clean on the exit of Coppice Corner there, and he's got a nice advantage as he heads into the final chicane. Just trying to take a defensive line, and he does. I think the win's going to be for him. Who's going to take 3rd, though? Out of this lot, Ross Twyman from about 8th position is going to take 3rd.
He squeezed around the outside of him, and look at Ryan Longshore, the leading rookie there. He crosses the line in 4th place, number 10, and look at him. Just, I thought they were beating each other. They're just smacking their leathers, smacking the bikes like a bunch of jockeys at the Grand National. They'll be had up for mistreating the machinery. Fantastic stuff, and they've loved every second of it. A great win for Alistair Deus. Look at the margins. Brad Jones 2nd, Ross Twyman 3rd, Ryan Longshore, the leading rookie, in 4th, ahead of Tom Oliver 5th, Ben Luxton 6th, Harry Coomber, Max Simmons and Louis Dawson. And there we see the 3 overall, Alistair Deus, Brad Jones and Ross Twyman. And there the Nitro newcomers, Ryan Longshore, Joe Francis and David Alling.
So we've got our top 3 from the Aprilia Super Teams here. We're going to start off with 3rd place, Ross Twyman. Ross, pole position yesterday, but some really tough races out there. There's about 7 or 8 bikes going for the win.
Yeah, it's a tough race, but I got a good start and I managed to keep with them, and I just kept consistent.
And looking to try and tag onto these 2 for race 2 and maybe get that 25 points.
Yeah, hopefully. See what happens.
Well done to you, Ross. We're going to move on to Bradley Jones. Bradley, we've not had a chance to talk to you on the TV yet. You were with the Aprilia Super Teams last year. Good to be up here now.
Yeah, it was a great race. It's just tough battling. It's so close. It's unbelievable, but you just got to push through and hope for the best.
Well done to you, and then we'll move on to race winner Alistair Deus. Alistair, you got a win yesterday. Unfortunately, TVs weren't here, but you've made up for it today. Got another win. This has been coming, hasn't it? Because you've been improving all the way from last season into this year.
Yeah, that's really good actually, because start of the season we were struggling with bikes and trying to get them prepared properly, and now my dad's put and my mum has put so much effort into it. I've just managed to pay them back by saying thank you to them.